All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having yourselves a fantastic start to the AM here. Happy Thursday, right? Thursday today, right? Yes, hopefully. Yeah, hope you're all having yourselves a great day. Ready for what should hopefully be an interesting trading session. And we can kick things off here and really start flying here this week. So, first things first. Right, we had Nvidia's earnings there after market close. A little bit of a gap up here, but the option premium sellers win again. Beat on the top and bottom line, right? So pretty impressive performance continuing from Nvidia, and we'll see if this thing can pop. If it can eventually break out above that 150 shelf, certainly sets us up for semiconductor winter, right? And we had a semiconductor summer, a semiconductor spring, a semiconductor fall. So we'll see what else it wants to do for us here and how things want to kind of kick off. From an economic calendar perspective, we've got a little bit of a busier day here today, right? We had jobless claims this morning. We got home sales and economic index, right, at 10. And then we've got a bunch of Fed speak here in the afternoon. So historically, right, you never know what's going to happen with all that Fed speak. Tends to slow things down. And then just sanity checking here. Everything else looks fine. So, yeah, hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic start to the AM here. And, yeah, let's kind of set things up here. Let's figure out where we want to go. And we'll be, kicking things off here and hopefully, right, finding a bit of momentum here today. Same deal like yesterday, right? Going to still be continuing to trade on the 10-minute time frame. Just loved how calm, cool, collected, relaxed, and how there wasn't any fake outs, right, with that price action. So going to continue to focus on those elements here today. And if that means it takes a little bit longer for me to get a setup, no worries, no big deal. We'll see if I can get something clean. So, with that being said, team, let's start mapping things out. Happy Thursday, and let's absolutely crush today's session. So good morning, all DTR members. Good morning, DTR guests. And let's have ourselves a big, big day. So first things first, what's the count here on ES? Let's start there, and let's see how things go. Anyone? What's the count? Yeah, 2 out of 3 here to the upside without volume, right? A decreasing volume standard, decent sized gap up. But higher high, higher low, so definitely do have bullish characteristics here. Bit of a reversal, right? Decent volume, again, decent volume there yesterday. And then we're getting a continuation narrative, right, for a move towards sort of that 59.80. So again, right, we're still looking for an initial pop. For a breakout up towards, right, that last week Friday high. And then if we can get over that, right, then the path towards all-time highs should be back in business. Maybe you want to be a little bit cautious of this possibly being like a bit of a flag opportunity, right, something along those lines. But not that much of a flagpole here above us. So, if you're getting that type of breakdown here, it's like a move towards 5,800, something along those lines. So for sure, could be an opportunity. And then we'd be targeting a move towards we'll call this our fake out zone. So then I need to get a breakdown. Possibly like a bear flag breakdown, right? But again, have a bit more of a bullish bias than a bearish bias. But short term, we could possibly play between those ranges. Okay. NQ, what's the count? Similar, not so similar. What's different? Yeah, and it's a bearish 2 out of 3 with volume spot on, right? But it's a weak candle, higher high, higher low. Looks pretty much exactly the same like ES, except we closed, well, 15 points lower, right? Relative, so that it's a red day, not a green day. So I would say that I very much still have a very similar narrative, right? Still be targeting a move up towards sort of those Friday's highs. And I wouldn't say that that red candle would be particularly scary here as of yet, right? Especially after that fake out on Tuesday. That's a nice continuation day here. Basically just repeating that same story. And then it's a decent sized gap up here this AM. Now, if we are going to get that bullish momentum here to the upside, ideally it happens on bigger volume than what we saw there yesterday. Although I'm not going to make that a official standard here today. But that definitely would give me a nice level of enthusiasm. We know a lot of that volume, right, that's going to be inside yesterday's candle is just going to be inside that dip buy, right? So we don't need to overvalue or overrate this, especially because we're already opening up or implied opening up above yesterday's highs. So still targeting a move towards, we'll say 21,000. That's going to be the starting point. And then if we can get a pop from there, sweet. And then to the downside here, right, it'd be like 2,900 break fake out, right? And then it's kind of like a Bollinger Band reversal type setup, right? Where on the shorter time frame, what's the implied open here? 868, right? So 868's like 200 points away, right? So when we look at these Bollinger Bands, when they open up, they're going to be pretty expanded, right, with this open here at 21,868. So definitely anticipating a little bit of some potential like catch your breath type price action. Maybe this is telling me it's a little bit of like a two-way tape. And so just be a little bit patient. Make sure that we see a good amount of consistency across the board. And then when we do get that narrative, hopefully we can take advantage of any of that oomph. What would be easier for us to trade here today, NQ or ES? Any thoughts? So probably ES will be the easier trade, right? Because although there is a more like a larger volume standard, it's not a volume standard that's necessarily as consistent as our trend, right? So this is a little bit of an easier story for us to fall in love with of like bullish strength. Whereas that, okay, it's good increasing outlier volume, but still bearish, right? So bulls couldn't fully reclaim control there. So there's just a little bit more reasons to think that they're going to continue. Now I'm picking at straws, right? I think both setups are very similar here today. But yeah, in general, we've got more confirmation, right? That bulls closed in control. Yesterday, bears still closed in control. Okay. CL. Whoops. Mine's in my my brain's in the gutter. All right. So CL here. What's the count? Red candle, decreasing volume, gap up, right? Nat gas today. So we've got a couple scenarios, right? We're either looking for that trend line breakout over 70.50, Or, right, we're looking for the trend line rejection. Oh, 100%, Sammy, right? That's why we're willing to have that flexibility to trade NQ here to the upside, right? Instead of treating this as a 2 out of 3 here to the downside with volume, right? So normally on those downside with volume scenarios, we'd only be looking for downside trades. But because we have an opportunity for a relatively consistent narrative here today, we are willing to play that upside scenario. So yeah, it's baked in. So 68.50, right, approximately the low of this range would be the starting point, and then we break down towards like 68 and then 66.50. Hey, good morning, Constantine. So lots of space. Obviously, if we're going to get the narrative here, need more volume than yesterday. Cool. All right, Apple. Lower low, lower high, decreasing volume, gap up. 2 out of 3 here to the upside without volume. Kind of looks like consolidation here still. So we still want that 230.50 breakout, right? Or that 224 breakdown. Basically get out of this trend line, right? And if we're looking at this a little bit objectively, Apple's giving us similar-ish pattern, right, to what we're seeing on ES and NQ, where it's kind of like that consolidation off of these lows. So Apple's patterns may be a little bit more mature. So if we can get that breakout through that area, I would imagine we can invalidate a lot of that kind of consolidation that we've seen on the indexes and hopefully then create for ourselves a very tremendous amount of upside. All right, Tesla, inside bar, double inside bar here. So still looking, right, for a impressive consolidation breakout. I'm going to say 350 at this point, right, to the upside. Clearly, that's the level of resistance. And then to the downside, still looking for a breakdown here under 330. So not too much changing from that perspective. But again, right, a consistent story on Apple and Tesla here so far, where we're looking for a consolidation breakout post volatility in the end of last week. So if I can now see a tremendous amount of enthusiasm show up, that should not only be paired with volume here this morning, but it should also be a relatively consistent story on our indexes and leading names. So the more consistent those narratives should become or do become here today, the less choppy price action is going to be, easier it is for us to get big follow through, and the less paranoid we have to be basically of getting faked out. Okay. Microsoft, 2 out of 3 here to the downside with volume. Now it's a weak 2 out of 3, right? Weak candle shape. We know a lot of those sellers are, or a lot of that volume is actually dip buyers, right? Even though we didn't finish off as a green candle. It's the least bearish of candles here. Lower low, lower high. Opening up above yesterday's implied open. But I still need to get up and over through that 420 area before I'm willing to be particularly aggressive here to the downside. I don't really want to do a BB reversal inside yesterday's range because I know a lot of the selling pressure, right, or a lot of the volume, sorry, is dip buyers, right, and it's counter to the BB reversal. So a rejection off of like, 423, right, something along those lines could get me back down towards 420. But ultimately, I'd prefer to see a breakdown here under 410. So, rejection inside Friday's range. Obviously, off of Friday's highs. And that would be pretty interesting. All right, Amazon, inside bar. Still looking for that gap fill setup or breakdown under 198. It's not much changing here again, right? Another narrative of consolidation. So not too much changing. Okay, AMD, Doji, increasing volume, gap up. I mean, it makes sense that I was going to Doji there yesterday and on increasing volume. Sympathy play to NVIDIA going into earnings. So 1 out of 3 here to the, or sorry, 2 out of 3 to the downside with volume, and we'll call it a weak one, right? And it's weak on both a candle shape and a volume profile. Although that is an increasing volume standard, it's still pretty thin, right, and pretty light. So gonna still look for that 142 breakout. I don't think too much is changing here. And then we're looking for a 135.50 breakdown. Cool. All right, NVIDIA. So obviously earnings yesterday, pretty nice gap up here. Looking for basically like an ascending wedge pattern breakout. So 150 plus. Or like a gap fill and go type scenario. It's technically a 2 out of 3 here to the downside with volume. But with that earnings, I don't want to put too much stock into that price action, as we know a lot of that's just going to be the run up into that earnings narrative. So pretty good pop here. This has a chance to pull everything up with it. So let's see if it can give us that 150 breakout and go. Possibly like failed 150 breakout, right, would be the scenario for a bear case. And then like a BB reversal. But I'm less optimistic about that happening. All right, Meta, 3 for 3 here to the upside. Pretty weak volume. So we're looking for, I mean, it's pretty big gap up based on that volume profile. We need to get over 572. Or, right, a gap fill and go back towards 572, right? So a retest of 566. And then that's about it. Bear case would have to get under that green box. Not particularly optimistic that's going to be in play here today. All right, Netflix. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3 to the upside. This lunatic does not want to stop. Pretty impressive. So basically dip buy inside the green box, right? Or a breakout over 890. Certainly seems like 900 bucks is well within range. So 890 breakout or a bounce off of the green box. Okay. Google inside bar here, right? So consolidating, a little trend line bounce. So you either get a breakout above that trend line, right, which is 179, or a breakdown under, right, which is 172. So that's really the narrative here this morning. So yeah, in general, right, the story is that we saw a lot of consolidation there yesterday. We've got a lot of names that want to potentially give us that consolidation breakout. And the stories across the board look pretty consistent here today. So if they are consistent, if they are giving us that nice story, and we can get some decent momentum, hopefully we can take advantage of that oomph. Now, in general, right, still doing the same thing I did yesterday, focusing on the 10-min time frame. And then from there, right, we can kind of get ourselves in a situation where we can look for a nice amount of continuation. But I'm not going to be rushing into anything, not going to be forcing anything, not going to be doing anything stupid. And instead, just focusing on the quality of my decisions and being patient, disciplined, right, methodical in all my trading. So I'm not here to rush a trade. Not here to FOMO into anything. I'm not here to do anything stupid along those lines. I'm here to focus on the variables I can control. And that also starts, right, with making a commitment to myself that I'm going to protect myself from the worst versions of myself as a trader. If I miss a trade, I'm not going to go break a rule and chase something just because I feel like I'm owed money. If I get a nice win, I'm not going to break a rule and get greedy and triple up my position sizing so that I get $1 million worth of P&L. I'm going to be steady as she goes, right? Each day is a unique opportunity to get better, not to be more and more profitable. So if I'm judging myself based on a P&L number on a screen, I'm going to behave like a freaking idiot, because that is the dumbest way to, basically judge your own self-worth as a trader, right? So it's the trader that commits to getting better, that chooses to learn from their mistakes, that notices their patterns and then makes plans on how they're going to solve them, that ultimately makes money. The trader that sits there and feels sorry for themselves and gets addicted to repeating their own same problems over and over and over and over again will be a lifelong loser and will ultimately never get what they want out of the market. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking for some like lottery ticket win. And instead, I demand from all of you that you choose to take accountability for your decisions, for your trading, and you get on the roller coaster of getting better, not on the roller coaster of judging yourself based on your P&L. When you make that lifelong commitment to becoming the best individual that you can be, the P&L will take care of itself. And stop pretending money will solve all your problems. It will not. Instead, solve them, and then the money will reward you for fixing those things. So, few minutes here till market open. I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee, spend a few minutes here visualizing a successful trading day, and then hopefully we can jump on here and have ourselves a strong session. So two-way tape here still. I'm going to look to see basically where that momentum shows up, and if we can get ourselves a good amount of enthusiasm here this morning, should be a fun trading day. So be back at it again in a few minutes, and then we'll jump back on and do a quick little rundown here before the session starts. All right, team. So let's get ready for what should hopefully be a interesting, successful, and profitable trading day. Today, right, all about controlling the variables I can't control. Being calm, being disciplined, being deliberate, and not chasing suboptimal trades, suboptimal ideas, or just rushing into something stupid, right? Every time I do those things, every time any trader does those things, then the only evidence they have is that it just costs them money. So what feels best for your account in the moment is rarely what is best for your account long term. And I would demand from you all, right, that you be incredibly selfish in determining what is best for you in the moment and what is best for you as a trader long term. Those are often two very different things. And if you can start to think that way, then you're actually going to set yourself up to be successful. So if you stop chasing that 1 day, 2 day, 3 day P&L dream, then you're actually able to accomplish something significant, right? Because what's a $1,000 win compared to a $30K win, right? Or what's a $500 win compared to a $100,000 year? So if you're not going to choose to delay that gratification and play for the bigger prize, then you will always be stuck and you will always suck at trading, right? So you have to delay that gratification. You have to accept that you're playing a game of probabilities, and you have to put yourself in situations where you are simply just playing the numbers game. If you're going to ignore those elements, if you're going to ignore those realities, doesn't matter, right, how well I trade, doesn't matter how wild the market moves, nothing along those lines will actually make a significant impact or a difference to your trading, right? So figure out which trader or who you want to be as a trader, and figure out the things that are costing you from getting there, right? How your greed, your fear, your anxiety, your stress, your circumstances, right? How they are all impacting you from being the best individual you want to be, and then solve those things, right? Solve them one by one. Get just a little bit better each day, and you will very quickly start to create a tremendous amount of progress, and you're going to start to see a pretty impressive amount of P&L that then gets attached to that. But if you're going to ignore all those red flags and you think you're going to be able to make money regardless because it's a technical issue, then you're lying to yourself and you're not willing to do the work, right, that you actually need to do to become successful. Spot on, Tara. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Right? It's a game that you can make and live an incredible lifestyle from when you commit to that long-term improvement. Guys, you've never been one trade away from being rich, right? You've never been one trade away from being able to buy whatever, right? So stop behaving as if you're one trade away. It's not the way it works, right? You're one trade away from losing everything. You're not one trade away from accomplishing your objectives. The green box, just an area where we want to visualize potential dip buys, right? So it's just where we've seen a lot of wicks inside price action. So you just got a lot of bottom heavy wicks, right? If we were to visualize all those candles inside those ranges, basically that's just a spot where we've seen dip buyers show up. So it's just a visual. Oh man, Igor, the things I would do for like a dark blue with brown interior 993. Ooh. Chef's kiss. Like, oh. I mean, both are incredible. Yeah, Norm, I know. I've done pretty well not spending very much money on toys like that here, because you can only use them like 3 or 4 months a year. But I lust after them. I do. I won't lie. If I ever do make it down to somewhere warmer, first thing is to get a pretty cool place in cash, and then a boat, and then once you have those things and you can live your best Dexter impression, it's time for a cool car. $100%, Sammy. Yeah, 100%. I'm not a huge debt person. I really don't like debt. So I'd rather buy a $500K home in cash than a $2.5 million home with a big mortgage. Because I think it's like step one to having FU money, in my opinion, right? So if I have, I don't know, a place to live that's paid for, no debt, nothing on it, and then just only thing I have to pay is insurance and property taxes each year. Well, you don't need that much, right? You don't need that much in T-bills to be able to cover that on a yearly basis. And so at that point, right, you can then turn all your other money or all your other investments into a rocket ship instead of it being a launch pad. So I think it's a bit of a cheat code for creating financial freedom, because then you can sit and wait. You can say no to a lot more things. You don't have to feel pressure or forced to make any decisions. And so I think once you have that level of flexibility, it's a lot easier to make good decisions. Like the loft that I live in here, I bought in cash. And I could have for sure bought a nicer place and taken a big mortgage, and I probably would have made money on it because I've been here a couple years. But the peace of mind I think you get as a trader, not having to worry about a tremendous amount of monthly expenses, also makes it a lot easier to play this game. Okay, so bigger volume than yesterday, right? So far. And on an NVIDIA 150 fake out and now break down. Interesting. It's pretty rare you see the second volume bar of the day be bigger than the open. Pretty rare. He faked off right off of 900. Interesting. VIX flying this morning. Man, that is huge volume. Did I get rid of my... Oh, what the fuck? Man, where'd it go? Yeah, pretty impressive moves so far. Very, very impressive. Yeah, she's a big one today. That volume's like the biggest we've seen at open in months. So, very interesting. Nice work, Vitaly. We'll call it. Don't do anything else crazy here today. That's a great start. Again, can't get the risk reward there to justify. Same thing, right? Now, there's a little part of me here that wants to do something like this. Because that volume is so massive. If I could see like an elevator down at this point, right? Maybe I could play that breakout. Now, I don't think I can from a risk management perspective when I actually think about this a little bit more logically, right? It's 63. Stop loss would have to be 709. Like, that's too big of a move. Yeah, Vitaly, I mean, 500 bucks for the day, catching that big move. I wouldn't do anything else too crazy. That's a great day. Ali, are you in the stream here this morning? Maybe on YouTube? For whatever reason, and I haven't watched this in a very, very long time. But right now, the market's making me, it's reminding me of the movie Jackass, and like the opening scene where it's like, "Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass." And all I'm thinking is, "Hi, my name is Michael. Don't be a dumbass." For whatever reason, that's on my head here today. Again, cool, calm, collected, no rushing, right? I don't have to rush or chase anything here today. It is the quality of my process that I'm judging myself off of, right? Not chasing a P&L number here to feel alive. This is not a roulette table, right? Don't treat it like one. Yeah, it's early doors here so far. We're not going to get increasing volume on this 10-min candle. What time was our trade yesterday? It was pretty late, right? All things considered. It was 10:13 in the morning. So, I mean, we're pretty much on the same pace as we were yesterday. Which I have no problems with. There's plenty of range here. Even if we get like a mean reversion setup, I mean, on NQ, for example, we're going to have 275 points to play with, right? That is a tremendous amount of space. So this really is not about trying to be first. We don't need to try to catch the very top or the very bottom. There's so much in the middle for us to take a bite out of today. And we don't need to force anything. Honestly, the most challenging thing by the looks of it here today will be about having a realistic risk management plan, right? So we might get a lot of risk reward ratios that look like they're in play, but then we're going to be like risking $1,000 per contract. It's not really my scene, right? I don't really want to be doing that. But we'll see. And if we can get a now like a red to green reversal above, 570 or above, 29, that's going to be the mother of all moves. There's going to be so many trapped sellers, right? So far, so chill. It's the moving average line. So that's what the white line is here on the volume. So again, no rushing here yet today. Same thing like yesterday, right? Trade the longer time frame. Be a little bit more patient. Be a little bit more deliberate. Don't need to do anything crazy. You can find them all inside the FAQ section, Willard. And then if you save that as your own chart layout, you'll be permanently on your screen. But yeah, if you're logging out of TradingView and you're no longer have a username associated with that account, then of course it's going to be a blank screen each time. So the point, right? Save it as your own layout, use that layout, and then should always be there. Yeah, if you click that link, save that as your own layout, that'll be it. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one way of doing it, Norm. I mean, you could just fill it in yourself, too, as we go along. But yeah, that's sort of the point. So this will always show you my most updated charts. For whatever reason, every time I try to publish an indicator on TradingView, I get banned. So I've just kind of given up on doing that. Try now. Like for me, I just clicked that link and it showed up. So you guys can see me. My Discord dropped for a second there. Looks like it's not sharing. All right, we're back. Yeah, we're good. Everyone can see my screen. All right, cool. So again, we're probably not going to get increasing volume here, right, with a minute to go. Oh, shoot. One sec. spilt a little bit of coffee there. We're alive. Woo. Okay, so now we got some 10 a.m. data dropping in a second. I mean, we're very much on pace for things to behave the same way they did yesterday. So again, still no rush. I mean, the only trade I maybe could have had would have been on this 3-min. I don't know if I would have gotten the risk reward realistically. Decreasing volume still, so I'm not really sure I've missed anything. Oh, excuse me. Have you guys been keeping up with the meme coin mania recently here? I cannot stop laughing at that video of the kid rug pulling for 30K. It's like maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's so funny. I mean, you're not missing out on too much here, Norm, but it's just screaming crypto top frenzy. It's like mania price action. What's Bitcoin at these days? 96.7. What a freak. Definitely have a good chance here to get that increasing volume standard on ES and NQ on these next candles. So, still watching here. Ugh. Either reversal trades, right, or breakdown trades. Both are still in play. So 5 minutes to go. We got lots of time here. But yeah, pretty much the same pace as we saw yesterday, right? So like I said, yesterday, first trade was 10:13 in the morning Eastern. We very much appear to be on that same pathway. Now, indexes are mirroring NVIDIA, right? Now, as NVIDIA is making lower lows, so are NQ and ES. I mean, I think probably it depends on where this candle closes. If it closes, gives us like a huge move like that opening candle, then we could target 2R. Or like that 2R red line, right? If it doesn't, then we'll target yesterday's low of day. So I would say those are the two logical targets here. Previous low of day or 2R. And 2R in this context, not double risk. It's double the range, right? Still no chasing here, right? Still being very cautious, being patient. It's got to be perfect. Like even from here, right, to yesterday's low, still a 100-point move, which is plenty of action. And then we just want to make sure that the risk stays tight enough so that we can get the sizing that we want. Ugh. And again, right, just watch NVIDIA here. As NVIDIA's breaking down, right, everything else is as well. So 2 minutes ago, we should get increasing volume here. So I'm going to start to watch both ES and NQ to the downside. And ideally, we'd like to see it close under 2,600, right? And then on ES, we'd like to see it close under the trend line. Now, like a 601 close, I'll be okay with. A 620 close, less appealing. Again, right, the second NVIDIA starts bouncing, so does everything else. Right, and the reason I want to see a close, I mean, obviously, besides 600 being a psychological level, makes it more challenging, right, for me to be able to get the risk management that I want on the aggressive entry technique the deeper this candle pulls back, right? 614 close. I mean, I could possibly do the pullback technique here, but then we need an entry, 55-ish, right? 655, not 629. 629 to 677. Far too much risk for me to take on that trade. And then even here, right, if we get the aggressive technique, I would need to pull back into 605, right? Something along those lines. So only looking at NQ here for now. Right, so a 55 entry would give me, was that 22 points of risk, right? Which would allow me to buy one contract. Anything really below that, right? So 650, a 640, right? Whatever. I can't get the risk management that I want on that position. So maybe this has a chance on the 15 to also set up and give me that same story. So we don't have to rush this still. Right, if we rush this entry, we're just setting ourselves up to get slapped around and to take a bigger loss than we want, which is a lose-lose situation. Okay, so watching here, right? Definitely starting to watch. 677 would have to be the stop loss. We'll call it 678. Just to keep the numbers easy. Okay, we're getting close. 52. And so far, I would say that's elevator up, right? Not stairs up. Once we got into our entry zone. So no reason to jump into this yet. Yeah, good decision. And now this is starting to look like a possible 15-min reversal setup. So let's see if the volume can get there. Minute to go. We have a chance. For sure have a chance. ES giving us that same look as well. Let's see. Okay, no increasing volume on NQ. So we're looking at ES here, team. And target here would be high a day. We want to see a breakout over 41, elevator up, and then stairs down into that area. So stop loss for now would be 38. And as is, right, this would be a 2-contract play. So watching here. Come on. All right, guys, I am in 942. So let's see if it's got the juice. Not a great initial reaction here. All right, did get stopped out. Okay, might want to set up again. So similar idea, right? Looking for then a 935 stop loss. I'm just watching here, Kiki. I'm just watching. I don't always have something to say. Alright, so... Sorry, I did mute myself there for a second. So this does have another opportunity here for me. Mean. Stop loss was wrong by a decent amount, so not personal. So still need to see a decent pullback here. All right, so I am back in 939.25. Oh, wait. Okay, took the stop again. Ooh. At this point, it might just have to be a short, right? We're seeing bulls fail now twice. I don't think the decision was a bad one. Annoying outcome for sure. Very much within striking distance here. Still one trade. So I'd still be targeting low of day here, yesterday's low of day. Maybe you could do something like this. I mean, that's too aggressive. NVIDIA at 142. Okay, so if I can get a pullback into 600 here again, that's interesting. As is, right, I'm risking 850 bucks, too much. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, I don't think I did anything wrong there. Okay, so again, watching on this 10-minute time frame. The question is, where's the best target here? It's a pretty big candle. It's maybe 400. Video 141 and free falling. Okay, so watching closely here, right? We'd like to see it break down under 21. See where this thing finds its support. Okay. So as is, let's see if it makes a little higher high and then breaks down. Stop loss has to be 536. Okay, see if it finds support here, breaks down. So now we'll say, ooh, it's got to be a bit higher. 548 stop. Okay, so watching closely here again. Come on. Still nothing. Still nothing. Okay, guys, I am short 534, 2 contracts. Oh, come on, break down, you loony. Guys, I am out. I've closed that trade. And this is I think I have another opportunity. This is mean. It is just increasing here. I think I can do this. Okay, guys, I'm in long 65.75. Oh man, this is what the frick's going on today? Okay, see if they can run here. Come on. So far, so good. Oh, I had to fight again. Okay, there's 500. High volume reversal, fake out lower, Chad. So, fake out lows. I gotta pay attention to this 1 sec. But it's a fake out under low of day on increasing outlier volume. Guys, I'm out of this again, right? I am out of this trade again. Closed at entry. Once you're up 20 points, right? Stop loss gets moved to entry price. Ooh, this is a freaking annoying day. So the idea, right, Chad, is variation of, I'll trade all three of these setups, right? So high vol breakout, low vol fake out, high vol pullback, or low vol pullback, sorry. I should have just taken that $500 win when I had it instead of $65. Yeah, volatility is a good thing. Means I'm still in business here. Sounds good, Jenny. Enjoy. Hopefully your power is back in business here today. Again, maybe I could do this to the short side, targeting 400. Could be a buy the stop loss type entry. Should be something like that. Again, Nvidia bouncing again. It's all over the place. So we are getting stuck a little bit at the 600. trying to find an entry somewhere. And I think it would have to be a long at this point again. Reversal, fake out entry. You could go maybe stop loss 586. Or right on this 3-min, like a 612. Points. Okay, let's watch this candle close here. I'm trying to get the best risk reward I can possibly find. It's a good bounce. All right, guys, I am in. Average price 632. 632.50. Stop loss 612. Okay, time to fly here. Come on, come on. Okay, it's got to fly here. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. All right, will not let this trade go red. I will not let this trade go red, right? It's 500 bucks. I will not give this up. Okay, fly, fly, fly. Okay, so far so good, right? So far so very, very good. All right, 800 bucks. Let's see if we can get a bit more follow through here, team, right? Target's going to be, I mean, if I have an opportunity, right, to maybe build up a position here, I will gladly take that. But here we go. We've been waiting for this all morning. Gosh, I have to fight sometimes. Okay, 800 bucks. Come on, a bit more here. We got this. Come on, come on. Yeah, stop loss is now going to be at my 1R level, right? So I'm risking 20 points. My stop loss is at 52. Stop loss is at 52. Okay, we're really starting to fly here, guys. There's $1,000. Let's go. And see if we can keep getting some further follow through. I'm going to try to close this around 700, I think. And that should put me up nicely on the day. Come on, come on. So I protect my position using the R system, Chad. So if I'm risking 20 points, I'm protecting my position every 20 points. Come on, you can do this. Okay, 1100, 1200. 91, come on. So now let's see if we can get that breakout through. We have a chance to pyramid into a position here now, team. Oh. So stop loss would be 92. See if this thing holds. Now stop would have to be 89. If I'm going to pyramid in. All right, so 88.50. Still no reason to jump in a second contract here yet. Just be patient a little bit. Okay, stop loss now going to be 88.50. Still no, still no. messaging me? All right, guys, added a other contract here. Average price now $655. Average price now $655. Stop is at $688. And let's see if this thing can really fly here, right? See if it can really fly. Pushing almost 2K here, right? So that's a great result. Come on, you got this, NQ. Who's in this with me, team? Who's in this? Nice work. Let's go, 1,200 bucks. Let's go. Okay, and now this thing is flying here, guys. Now this thing is flying. So that's 26, 24. Almost 5K on this now. All right, looking really good here, team. Looking really, really, really good. I'm going to close this off in a second, I think. Next big pop higher, I'm closing. 724 or 624, Jeff? Ah, fantastic. 100 points. Let's go. Okay, next big pop, and I am closing. Almost 5K here. Ooh, that's a big sell-off. Yeah, trying to trade my plan here as best as I can, Chad. Absolutely. Good reminder. All right, guys, I'm out. Closed at 721. Closing at 721. 35, 67, 52 on the day. Woo! Oh. Stressful day. $701. And that brought me to 3 total contracts. About 2 contracts there. Total on that trade was a little bit over 4,500. A little bit over 4,500. Yeah. Because I had a lot of follow through, right, and a lot of space, I'm able to be more aggressive with my extra sizing, right? What a squeeze higher. Oh my gosh. Oh. So, power of risk management, right? Power of risk management, and it has been so long since I've pyramided into a trade. Holy smokes. What a feeling. Patrick, I'd be careful chasing this thing higher here now, right? As that's quite the squeeze we've had in 20 minutes, right? Like 130, 40 points. This is now like a classic catch your breath moment, right? Oh. And Kenneth, man, let's go. 2,600 bucks. So the pyramiding, right, is all I'm asking myself is if I say change my stop loss to be 688.55, my original entry, right, is 632, we'll say. Right? Can I buy another contract while keeping my average price below my new stop loss location, right? So if I buy one contract, right, or two contracts, or three contracts, or 10 contracts, is it less than my new stop loss? So can I increase my sizing without increasing my risk? So it's just a math equation. So it's define your new stop loss spot, right? And then how many contracts can I buy to make sure that I'm still under that price? That's it. Right, so I'm happy to try to increase my upside on the day while not increasing my total risk on the session. Let's go, Norm. $840, fantastic result. And okay, maybe should have continued to hold here, but I'm happy trusting my plan there. I'll take a nice big green day. Woo! Had to fight again today, though. My goodness, had to fight. Hell of a day, team. Hell of a day. We absolutely blasted through now, right? All-time highs in the portfolio. Let's go. Pretty much made what I made across accounts, per accounts today. Oh, whoops. Let's go, team. Everyone feeling good? Jesus Louises today. Nice work, Willard. $1,600, man. That's fantastic. Let's go. Sounds good, Patrick. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man. How's everyone feeling? Feeling good? New all-time highs. Let's go. What a feeling. Finally broke out of that range. Let's go. Woo! Nice work, Jeff. That's fantastic. Just shows you, right, how important risk management is, right? And how gamifying losing small makes it easy to get paid out when you do finally get that move. So very proud of you. That's a A+ result. Those days where you can go 1 for 3 or 2 for 4 or even 1 for 4 and still be green. Man, those show you that you can survive anything as a trader as long as you keep your head, right? So I freaking love that. What a day. Oh. So, any questions here, team? I'm not gonna do anything else to ruin this this feeling right now. So, any other questions? Anything else you guys want to go over? Woo! What a feeling. All right, guys, final call for questions here. Final call for questions. Yeah, feel good about closing that trade where I did too. Did not miss anything. Hell of a day, team. Hell of a day. You. DTR guests, any questions here? Any questions? Are you with me? Are you with me? Average price was $655. Ad was at $701. So it's on after this candle, right? We got that high vol breakout away from our entry price. We established a new stop loss at 688. And so looked to buy back there and pushed my stop loss to 688.50. So then was protecting, you know, 3 contracts, right, with a net 35-point win, 40-point win. So with the pyramid, right, it's on after your entry, each high volume confirmation candle is where you look to build up sizing once you establish new support. So that's 688.50, definitely new support, but no real sustained follow through post that area. So just closed it for a win. And closed it right as my P&L was increasing, not on the pullback. Cabo, are you still in the stream? So logic here, right, is this DTR ORB logic. So we see the fake out lower and then high volume separation under these lows. So here's your low vol fake out, right, at 1030. Here's your confirmation candle here at 1045, right? High volume separation away from those lows. And then we look for a breakout separation away from there. So it's a failed breakdown on decreasing volume and then a high volume confirmation candle away from low of day. And so that's this variation of the ORB logic, right? The low vol fake out bearish failure under the low of the opening range, right? So it's a reversal setup. So here's your low vol fake out, right? This 1030 candle made lower lows on decreasing volume. And then here's your confirmation at 1045. And then here's your further follow through, breakout, separation, etc., etc. Does that make sense? So it's this setup, right? So I have 3 variations of this idea that I can play with this ORB. I can play the high vol breakout, I can play the low vol pullback, or I can play the bearish failure, right, at low of day. And that's what we did here today for this winning trade. Understood? I just wasn't watching the 3-minute time frame at 1042. Right, so yeah, it definitely would have been a better possible entry. But I just simply wasn't watching. And Cabo, next time you have a question while I'm still streaming, please use the live trading chat, as I'll see that. I won't always see stuff in the members chat in the moment. So if you have any questions, please use the live trading chat or the YouTube chat, and I'll see them right away. All right, guys. Well, same deal like always, right? If you have any questions outside of market hours, feel free to hit me up. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. But now it's time for a celebratory breakfast and to go walk the dog. Hell of a trading day here today. And yeah, fantastic way to really blast off here this week and to turn this into a fantastic, fantastic week. So same deal like always, team, right? If you have any questions, hit me up outside of market hours. Make sure to do my best to answer it as soon as I can. Otherwise, looking forward to catching up with you, a few of you inside our one-on-one calls here later this afternoon. And we'll catch up and chat then. So have yourselves a great day, team, and we'll talk soon. Peace.